Hi everyone, I just wanted to make this video to warn you all about a scam that's going on at the moment regarding booking driving tests. Now, as I record this video in November 2015, there's currently a big delay when you come to booking your driving tests because there are more people learning than ever. There's been a big increase in the number of learner drivers, but there's also been a big decrease in the number of driving test examiners. This of course means that the waiting times for driving tests are getting longer and longer. It's gone from where I am in Birmingham, from the standard being about 3 weeks, to the normal waiting time now is around 3 months. In some parts of the country it's gone up as high as 5 months, and no one wants to wait 5 months for a driving test, do they? Now this is where the scam is coming in. There are certain websites that have been set up and they're saying that they can get you a test earlier than they actually can, and as soon as you look on these websites, can you hear that sound in the background? That's the sound of alarm bells ringing. Now, let me go over one thing to begin with. There is only one website you can book a driving test through, and that is the official gov.uk website. If you look in the description box below, there'll be a link there to the only official website where you can book your driving test. I don't recommend you ever go through any other website apart from that one. There's also a link to an article that the DVSA themselves have done on these scam websites, so I'm not making all this up. This is a real problem. Let me go through exactly what the scam is. The scam is that when you go onto the internet and you search for, last minute driving tests or driving test cancellations, certain websites will come up on page 1, sometimes even above the official government one, and they'll say things like, "We've got tests available at short notice, only days away." You go onto the websites, you can even look just like the official government website, because some of them have even cut and pasted the whole government website to make it look identical. The problem is though, of course, these sites are not official, and you can go onto them, you can book a driving test, and everything seems fine. You'll get an email comes through which will say you've got a driving test booked, and it's booked for next Friday at say 1:33 p.m. and you think, oh great, I've got a driving test. So you phone your driving instructor and you say, "Hey, great news, I've got a last minute cancellation," and your instructor says, "Great, I'll see you next Friday, we'll go and get it done." You turn up at the test centre and there are 4 learners in the test centre. 3 examiners come out of the waiting room. Can anyone start to tell what the problem is here? Yeah, the first examiner goes up to a pupil, the second examiner goes up to their pupil, the third examiner goes up to their pupil, then they turn and look at you and say, "Have you got a driving test booked?" And you say, "Yeah, 1:33. And they say, "Hold on a minute, we'll just go and check." They go into the back room, they come out and they say, "Sorry, but there's no driving test booked for you." Then you realise you've been scammed, because guess what? Yep, the driving test you booked never existed. These companies will just pretend that they've got your test booked, and they'll send you all the official looking emails, but it's all fake. They're all just cut and pasted emails. They've got like a template and they just copy and paste the information that you've given them, so it looks like it's your test when it's not. So at that point then, most people do what would be natural, to get the phone out and say, "Well look, I've got an email," and the examiner looks at it and says, "Well yeah, it looks real, but we've got no record of it." Then the pupil taps on the name of the company they booked it with. "Oh, the website's gone, it's not working anymore," so you try phoning them. "Oh, the phone number's not working." And that's when it really hits you, you've been scammed. And don't forget, by the way, that the people who've scammed you and booked you a driving test, or pretended they booked you a driving test when they haven't, they've also got all your credit card details, so you might want to go and check your credit card statements and your bank statements and everything. So yeah, this is a big problem, and I've seen it happening twice in the last year, where pupils have turned up. I remember one occasion there were 6 learners in the test centre, and I thought, there's no way there's going to be 6 examiners here, because the test centre that I go to, there's only normally 2 or 3, and there were 6 learners and 3 of them had booked these fake tests that didn't exist. If you're tempted to book a last minute test, don't do it unless it's through the official gov.uk website. Yes, there are legitimate companies like these that operate. There are some that I feel sorry for, because some of them are proper. Some of them do legitimately charge you a little bit extra, but they'll tell you that up front. They'll say to you, "Look, we'll charge you £10 or £20 above what a test would normally cost," but in return for that they do keep checking for cancellations and they do book you a test, and it's all above board. But how do you tell the real companies from the fake companies? Well, that's the problem. It's really hard, and you often can't. Some of these fake ones even offer you stupid things like guaranteed passes. I mean, I think that's ridiculous. A lot of people say to me, "I'm going to book through this website because they guarantee a pass." How can you guarantee a pass? I never understand why people say this. How can any instructor guarantee people a pass? It doesn't matter how good a learner you are, how good an instructor you are, doesn't matter which test centre you go to, you can never guarantee a pass. Some of them say things like they have these things called like pass guarantees, or what are they called? Pass promises or something. We promise that if you fail a test, we'll give you a second one free. How's that going to work? Why would the booking system give you a free test? Think about it. Why would the government pay for a second test if you failed the first one? Whose fault is it that you failed? Yours. Or maybe your instructors if you got a bad instructor. But it's not their fault, is it? Why would they pay for another test? So yeah, watch out for these dodgy sites and don't book through them. Don't be tempted. I know it seems really tempting when they say, we'll get you a test a week away. It doesn't matter how legitimate they look. Many of them are just scams. It's all fake. They'll take your money and they'll run. Now, there are roughly about 90,000 driving tests done a month. If you imagine if only 1% of people go to these companies, roughly 1,000 people, they charge you £80. A test should only be £62, by the way, £62 during the week or £75 on a weekend. They might charge you more, like £80 to £100. I've heard of people paying £100 for a driving test because they can get them earlier. Imagine if these companies are charging £100 for 1,000 people. They're making £100,000 in 1 month. And then guess what? They close the website down, they run off, and you'll never find them because they're not even in the UK. These companies are often in, or halfway around the world in other countries. You'll never track them, you'll never trace them, because even if you go to the police and they trace the IP address, you'll never find who they are because often these governments in these countries won't cooperate or collaborate with the UK government or the UK police. So please don't be tempted to book through these websites. Some of them even knock instructors. They say things like, don't listen to driving instructors. They all want you to book lessons for months and they want to hold on to you for months to make more money out of you. That is absolute rubbish. Let me explain why. I had a people text me last week and said they've cancelled my test. They just said they haven't got enough examiners. Do you think that I think, oh great, I'll make more money out of that people, brilliant? Of course I don't. I've said to that people, alright, book a test for 3 months' time, but leave your lessons for the next 2 months. It creates a headache for me because I've now got to work out times for that people when that people should have already passed and gone. Instead of me being able to book in new peoples and get new peoples coming in, I've now got to have the old peoples kind of clogging up my diary. Now, I don't want to say clogging my diary up because they're not, the peoples who want to learn, they're not an inconvenience, but they shouldn't be here. They should have passed, they should have gone. The last thing I want is for people to be dragging out lessons. Anyone who ever learns with me will know that I often talk about booking a driving test on the first lesson. And these cowboy websites are pretending that I'm the one at fault. They're saying, oh, it was your instructor telling you to wait months. Don't listen to them. Don't go through the government websites. It's all a scam. They're the scammers, not us. So I don't want to rant on anymore, but please be careful. Do not book driving tests to anywhere except the official gov.uk website. So, hope that video's helped you out. If it has helped you, then remember to share it with your friends. Tell your friends about it, share it with them. Don't let them get ripped off. You don't want to go losing your money. And remember, these scammers don't just take your money, they've also got your credit card details and possibly your bank details. And bad things can start to happen if that happens. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you again soon for more videos.